on Tuesday. That applies to the southwest only for the moment. Some French air corridors are open to Paris at 0600 GMT. Switzerland and parts of the Italian airspace were open. And we should get news on German skies at around 1200 GMT. That's in 3 hours from now. Well, the British Prime Minister said in the last little while that he guarantees all Brits will cross the Channel if they can get to a French port. That sounds pretty dangerous. He also says passengers in Asia should head for Madrid and that coaches will be put on from there. There are huge numbers of British and American travellers stranded at the moment. At least 150,000 Brits are stuck away from home, although that figure, we're told, could actually be as high as 400,000. In addition, 40,000 Americans are said to be stranded overseas. Well, plenty of information online about departures. Best place at the moment is to look at the airline websites themselves. Let's just come across and take a look at the Emirates website. At the moment, what they're saying is that some European flights will resume today. The situation, though, remains uncertain. Let's go to which one do we want next? Lufthansa. They're saying that they've resumed operation of a majority of their long-haul flights on Tuesday. That's good news if you're flying with Lufthansa. BA, though, slightly less good news. We're planning to operate short-haul flights scheduled to depart from 7 p.m. They've now been cancelled. We're still hoping to operate long-haul flights which are scheduled to depart after 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 20th of April. However, that remains subject to full and permanent opening of airspace. One more, though, for you. If you are stuck somewhere, Lonely Planet's just put on their website some free downloads for iPhones. It's an application with city guides, so if you are stuck in any of those global cities and want to know a bit of information, that's probably the place to go at the moment. Well, let's take a visual fly around to see where people are and what issues they're facing this hour. These are some of the latest pictures out of Japan, where flights have been delayed as a knock-on effect. This is Narita International Airport in Tokyo, where demand for flights to Europe is far higher than supply. Not surprisingly, that means long queues. To Beijing now, where flights to Europe have partially resumed. I think we've got some shots of a Lufthansa plane that left a short while ago bound for Frankfurt. There it is. It's carrying passengers who were supposed to fly days ago.
I was supposed to leave on Friday at the same time, but the flight was cancelled. That's why I spent the entire weekend trying to find alternatives. Aeroflot via Moscow, Qatar via Doha. Much hoping, many alternatives, but nothing came out of them. Now I'm hoping I can leave at 1:20 p.m.
We've been stuck in Hong Kong since the 16th. We were due to fly out on the 16th. Obviously the flight was delayed, has been delayed since till tomorrow. We totally understand the situation, but we're stuck in Hong Kong, having to pay for a hotel room. We're here today to see if we can get some help from Cathay Pacific with our funds, because obviously we can't afford to stay.
Well, elsewhere, hundreds of passengers stuck in the Nigerian city of Lagos trying to get home. The main international airport there, which is normally a thoroughfare in the region, was almost deserted on Monday. There was, however, some stranded Europe-bound passengers crowding check-in counters and ticket offices to get info. Well, passengers in New York have continued their uncomfortable sleeps. Cots and blankets have been provided at JFK Airport. A shortage of hotel rooms in the city means more people may be setting up camp in the coming days.
It's really hard because we don't have extra money to take an hotel reservation.
Kind of just get up, do nothing, and then sort of split the day by going on the air train and going to a different terminal for a change of scene.
Yeah, there's only so much of your parents you can take.
Well, let's go to Chicago now. A lucky few there got on board the first flights back to Europe late on Monday, but families have actually had to split up to make sure that at least somebody gets home. There are also warnings now being issued about severe accommodation shortages in travel hubs across Asia and the Middle East. Australian authorities are telling travellers that hotels in Singapore, Hong Kong and Bangkok are either near or at full capacity. There's also been a surge in hotel bookings in Dubai, Bahrain and Doha, with thousands stuck trying to get flights back to Europe. An interesting footnote to all of this, I've just found out online that the only international flight due to leave Glasgow at the moment is going to, wait for it, Iceland. Many viewers have been getting in touch about all of this. An anonymous but amusing contribution from the US. My dad, who's a pilot but not for hire, is saying it's better to be on the ground, wishing you were in the air, than in the air, wishing you were on the ground. In that spirit, I remember that Western Europe has an excellent train system, and that's certainly in full use at the moment. Atabuena, also from the United States. Sure, everyone's worried about the economy and the airlines, but the bottom line is that they would suffer a much greater problem if some disaster happened because they refused to shut down. Better to lose money than reputation. reputation. And Flauter from Prague is sceptical about test flights. The economy will win over safety issues. I doubt that these test flights can be assessed properly. The engines would have to be disassembled. And perhaps the impact of the ash could be only seen after several flights of the same aircraft. The sky seems wonderfully clean with no planes flying. All right, don't forget that we want to hear from you. If you can get in touch, head to our new media page. You can send us your views or video footage, no matter where you are in the world, aljazeera.net/English. Perhaps, though, if you are stuck somewhere, the best way to do it is via Twitter. You can DM me. Hamish Reporter is my tag. If you want any information, though, on Twitter at all, just type in hashtag for the latest information. All right, let's go back to David.